Meet Zara. In a vibrant space school where humans and aliens learn side by side, there was a girl named Zara. She was different from everyone else. Zara had bright green skin that shimmered under the school lights. Her eyes were big and colorful, like the stars in the night sky. But despite her amazing looks, Zara felt shy and alone. Every morning, Zara would walk to school, her heart racing. She would often see other kids laughing and playing together. Humans and aliens would run down the halls, sharing stories and making friends. Zara wanted to join in, but she never knew how. The other students seemed to have their own groups, and she felt like an outsider looking in. When Zara entered the classroom, she quietly found her seat in the back. She preferred to stay hidden, where no one could notice her. The classroom was filled with bright colors and strange gadgets, each one more interesting than the last. But Zara struggled to focus on the lessons. Her mind wandered as she watched her classmates chat and share jokes. She felt like a lone star in a vast galaxy, shining brightly but too far away to be seen. One day, something unexpected happened. Zara noticed a human boy named Ethan sitting a few rows ahead. He had short, messy hair and a curious smile. Unlike most kids, Ethan was always interested in everything around him. He loved exploring, asking questions, and trying new things. Zara had seen him before, but never thought he would notice her. As she watched Ethan, she saw him looking back at her. Her heart skipped a beat. Did he really see her? Zara quickly looked down, feeling embarrassed. She had never had a human friend before. What would they even talk about? Would he make fun of her like some other students did? Zara took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. She thought about what it would be like to have someone to talk to, someone who would understand her. For a moment, she imagined laughing with Ethan and sharing secrets. But the thought quickly faded, and doubt crept back in. What if he thought she was strange? As the teacher began the lesson, Zara struggled to concentrate. She could still feel Ethan's gaze on her. It made her nervous and excited all at once. Would he really come over and talk to her, or would he just ignore her like everyone else? Zara's thoughts were a whirlwind of hope and fear. At lunchtime, Zara sat alone at a table in a corner of the cafeteria. She picked at her food, her mind racing. She watched the other kids enjoy their meals, laughing and joking. The noise was overwhelming, but Zara felt an ache in her heart. She wanted to be a part of it. Suddenly, she saw Ethan walking toward her. Her breath caught in her throat. Was he really coming over to her? Zara felt a mix of excitement and fear. What would she say? Would she even be able to speak? Just as Ethan reached her table, she squeezed her eyes shut, wishing she could disappear. But Ethan smiled warmly and sat down across from her. "Hi, Zara. Can I join you?" he asked. Zara opened her eyes, shocked. She nodded slowly, her heart pounding. This was the moment she had dreamed of, and she could not believe it was actually happening. As they began to talk, Zara felt a spark of hope. Maybe she wouldn't be alone anymore. Meet Ethan. Ethan was a curious boy, full of energy and excitement. He lived on a small planet that orbited a bright blue star. From a young age, he had always been interested in the world around him. While other kids played games or watched holo movies, Ethan spent his time exploring. He loved learning about different cultures and meeting new friends. At school, Ethan was known for his adventurous spirit. He often asked questions that made teachers smile and students think. What would it be like to fly to another galaxy? He would ask, eyes wide with wonder. His classmates loved his enthusiasm, but some thought he was a little strange. Most kids just wanted to fit in and talk about the latest trends, but Ethan was different. He wanted to discover the unknown. Ethan was fascinated by aliens. He had read many books about them and watched documentaries that showed different planets and their people. He admired their unique traits and cultures. When the school announced the exchange program with an alien school on the nearby space station, Ethan was thrilled. He could hardly wait to meet his alien classmates. On the first day of the exchange program, Ethan stepped into the space school, his heart racing with excitement. The halls were filled with students of all shapes and sizes. Some were tall and slim, while others were short and round. Colors danced around him: blues, greens, and purples. He felt like he had entered a whole new world. Ethan quickly made friends with a few human students, but his eyes were drawn to the alien kids. He noticed Zyra sitting alone at her table, looking shy and nervous. Ethan's heart went out to her. He remembered what it felt like to be new and unsure. He wanted to help her feel welcome. During lunch, Ethan watched as his classmates laughed and joked around, but Zyra sat quietly, picking at her food. He couldn't help but feel sad for her. Why isn't anyone talking to her? He thought. He decided right then that he would change that. Ethan took a deep breath and walked over to Zyra's table. His legs felt a little shaky, but he pushed through the nerves. "Hi, Zyra. Can I join you?" he asked, hoping she would smile. To his surprise, she looked up, her big eyes wide with surprise. Ethan felt a rush of happiness when she nodded slowly. He sat down across from her, and they began to talk. "What's your favorite thing about your planet?" he asked. Zyra hesitated at first, but then shared stories about the glowing flowers and the colorful skies on her home planet. As she spoke, her face lit up with excitement, and Ethan loved seeing her smile. He felt like he was getting to know a friend, not just an alien. Ethan listened carefully, fascinated by everything she said. He loved the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about her world. He shared his own stories about Earth, too. He told her about the tall trees, the ocean, and the animals that roamed his planet. As they talked, Ethan noticed that Zyra began to relax. She laughed at his jokes and started to open up more. He felt proud to be her friend. With every word, he wanted to learn more about her, and he could see that she enjoyed the conversation. From that day on, Ethan made it his mission to help Zyra feel included. He invited her to join his group of friends and included her in activities. He wanted her to know that being different was something special. As their friendship grew, Ethan felt more determined than ever to break down the barriers between humans and aliens. Ethan knew that their worlds were different, but he believed that friendship could bring them closer together. Every day with Zyra was an adventure, and he couldn't wait to see where their friendship would take them next. The bold move. As the days passed, Ethan and Zyra's friendship grew stronger. They spent more time together, sharing stories and laughing. But Ethan wanted to take their friendship to the next level. He wanted to show Zyra that he cared about her and wanted to be her friend in front of everyone, not just in secret. He decided it was time for a bold move. One sunny morning, as they walked into school together, Ethan noticed the school bulletin board. It was filled with colorful posters announcing an upcoming school event, the Galactic Fair. There would be games, food from different planets, and even a talent show. Ethan's eyes lit up with excitement. This was the perfect opportunity to invite Zyra to join him and his friends at the fair. "Zyra," he exclaimed, stopping in his tracks. "Have you seen the poster for the Galactic Fair? It's going to be amazing." Zyra looked at the poster, her eyes widening in surprise. "I heard about it, but I've never been to a fair like that before. What do they do there?" she asked, her voice a mix of curiosity and nervousness. "There will be games, music, and food from all kinds of planets. We can try everything together. It will be fun," Ethan replied, his enthusiasm contagious. Zyra bit her lip, unsure. "But what if others don't want to be around me? What if they laugh?" Ethan shook his head, determined to reassure her. "I'll be there with you. We'll stick together. I want everyone to see how awesome you are." His words made Zyra smile, but she still felt a flutter of doubt in her stomach. As they entered the classroom, Ethan took a deep breath. He had to act quickly. "Hey, everyone," he called out, gathering his classmates' attention. "I'm going to the Galactic Fair this weekend. Who wants to join us?" His friends looked at him with interest. "Sounds great. What about Zyra? Is she coming?" one of them asked. Ethan felt his heart race. This was the moment. Yes, Zara is coming with us, he declared, his voice strong. He glanced at Zara, who looked surprised but hopeful. Some students exchanged looks, and a few whispered, "Why is he inviting her?" But Ethan didn't let that bother him. He was focused on Zara. He wanted her to feel included and accepted. The rest of the day flew by. Ethan and Zara talked excitedly about the fair, discussing which games they wanted to play. Zara felt a mix of excitement and fear. Would the other kids accept her? She pushed the worries aside and tried to focus on Ethan's enthusiasm. As the fair day arrived, the school was buzzing with excitement. Colorful lights decorated the halls, and the smell of delicious food filled the air. Ethan and Zara walked in together, hand in hand. At first, Zara felt nervous as they approached the crowd. She could see groups of students laughing and playing games. What if they ignored her? But Ethan squeezed her hand gently. "Remember, we're in this together. Just have fun." They started with the games, trying everything from ring toss to alien darts. Zara discovered she had a knack for throwing rings, and Ethan cheered her on. With each game, she felt her confidence growing. As they moved to the food stands, they tasted dishes from different planets. Zara loved the sweet, glowing fruit, and Ethan enjoyed spicy snacks. They laughed and shared bites, enjoying the moment. Suddenly, Ethan spotted a talent stage. "Let's go see what's happening," he said, pulling Zara toward the crowd. As they watched the performances, Zara's heart raced. She wished she could join in, but the thought scared her. "Come on, Zara. Let's show them how amazing you are," Ethan encouraged, sensing her hesitation. Zara looked at him, her heart pounding. This was her chance. With Ethan by her side, she felt brave. "Okay, let's do it," she said, surprising herself. With a deep breath, they stepped onto the stage together. Zara felt a rush of excitement. This was her moment to shine, and with Ethan's support, she was ready to take that bold step. Zara's surprise. Zara stood on the stage, her heart racing. The bright lights shone down on her, and she could see the crowd of students below. Some were cheering, while others looked surprised to see her there. For a moment, she felt like she might turn and run. But then she glanced at Ethan, who stood beside her with a warm smile. His confidence gave her strength. "Just be yourself, Zara. You can do this," he whispered, giving her an encouraging nod. Zara took a deep breath and remembered all the fun they had together at the fair. She thought about how far she had come since that first day when she felt alone. She looked out at the crowd again, and this time she felt a spark of bravery. "Okay, I can do this," she told herself. Ethan stepped forward and grabbed the microphone. "Hello, everyone. We are so excited to share something special with you today. Zara has a beautiful song from her home planet that she wants to sing." His voice rang out clearly, filling the space. The crowd quieted down, and Zara felt all eyes on her. A wave of nerves washed over her, but she remembered Ethan's support. She took the microphone from him, her hands trembling slightly. "Hi, everyone," Zara said, her voice soft but steady. "I'm Zara, and I want to sing a song from my planet." She closed her eyes for a moment, focusing on the melody in her mind. It was a song about friendship and hope, filled with gentle notes that reminded her of home. As she began to sing, her voice was shy at first, but it quickly grew stronger. The crowd listened in silence, captivated by her unique sound. Zara felt the music flowing through her, and she began to smile. The more she sang, the more confidence she gained. The song was like a bridge connecting her to the audience, and she felt their warmth and support. Ethan watched with pride as Zara's voice filled the air. He clapped along with the rhythm, encouraging everyone else to join in. Soon, the crowd began to clap and sway to the music. It felt like they were all part of something special, united by Zara's beautiful song. As she reached the final notes, Zara opened her eyes and looked out at the audience. To her surprise, they were all smiling and clapping. She felt a rush of joy, realizing that they were not just accepting her. They were celebrating her. When the song ended, the crowd erupted in applause. Zara's cheeks turned bright pink, but she couldn't stop smiling. Ethan jumped up and down, cheering loudly. "You were amazing, Zara. You did it." Zara couldn't believe it. She had faced her fears and shared a piece of herself with everyone. It was a moment she would never forget. She felt proud and happy, knowing that she had finally connected with her classmates. After stepping off the stage, Zara was greeted with high fives and compliments from her peers. "That was so cool," one student said. Another added, "I didn't know you could sing like that." Zara felt a warmth in her heart. She had made new friends and found a place among them. The nervous girl who once felt alone now felt like she belonged. Ethan rushed to her side, his eyes sparkling. "You were incredible, Zara. I knew you could do it." Zara beamed at him, grateful for his support. "Thank you, Ethan. I couldn't have done it without you." As they walked away from the stage, Zara felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. She realized that by sharing her talent, she had opened a door to friendship and acceptance. The day had turned out to be more than she had ever hoped for, and she knew that this was just the beginning of her adventures with Ethan and their friends. Growing closer. After the amazing performance at the Galactic Fair, Zara felt a new sense of confidence. She had stepped out of her comfort zone, and now she was excited to be at school. Her friendship with Ethan had changed everything. They spent every day together, growing closer with each passing moment. The next day at school, Zara and Ethan met by the entrance. The sun was shining, and the air was filled with laughter. As they walked to class, Zara noticed how different everything felt. She was no longer the shy girl hiding in the back. She felt alive and ready to explore the world around her. During lunch, they sat together at a table filled with students. Zara was amazed to see how quickly her classmates had accepted her. They greeted her with smiles and shared their food. "Try this. It's a human favorite," one girl said, handing her a slice of pizza. Zara took a bite, and her eyes widened. "This is delicious," she exclaimed, making everyone laugh. Ethan grinned. "I knew you'd like it." "Next, we have to try the glow fruit from my planet," he replied excitedly. As they ate and chatted, Zara felt like she belonged. The laughter and chatter around her were music to her ears. Ethan was right beside her, making jokes and sharing stories. She could see how much he enjoyed making her laugh, and it warmed her heart. After lunch, they had art class together. The teacher gave them a project: to create a mural that represented both their worlds. Ethan's eyes lit up with excitement. "This is perfect for us, Zara. We can mix our cultures," he said. Zara smiled back, eager to start. They decided to draw a big tree with roots that represented Earth and branches that reached toward Zara's home planet. As they worked, their hands brushed against each other, and Zara felt a spark of joy. She enjoyed collaborating with Ethan, feeling his creative energy flow into the mural. "I love how your colors are so bright. They remind me of your songs," Ethan said, mixing paint on his palette. Zara felt her cheeks flush. "Thank you. Your ideas are great too. I think we make a good team," she replied shyly. As the days passed, their bond deepened. They shared their dreams and fears, discussing everything from their favorite foods to what they wanted to be when they grew up. Ethan told Zara about his dream of becoming an explorer, traveling to new worlds and meeting new friends. Zara shared her wish to help others understand different cultures and bring them together. One afternoon, while they were walking home, they found a quiet spot in the park. They decided to take a break and enjoy the beautiful view. The sky was painted in shades of orange and pink as the sun began to set. "This is perfect," Zara said, gazing at the sky. "It feels like a painting." Ethan nodded. "It really does. You know, I'm glad we became friends. I feel like I can be myself with you." Zara turned to him, her heart warm. "Me too, Ethan. I was so scared before, but now I feel brave. You've helped me a lot." Ethan smiled, and they sat in comfortable silence for a moment, watching the sun dip below the horizon. It was a special moment, and they both knew their friendship was growing into something beautiful. As the sun disappeared, they stood up to leave, feeling lighter and happier. They made plans for the weekend, deciding to explore the nearby park together. Zira couldn't wait for more adventures with Ethan, knowing that together they could discover new things about each other and their worlds. Each day brought new experiences and laughter. Zira realized that with Ethan by her side, she could face anything. Their friendship was more than just fun. It was a bond that would help them grow together, no matter the challenges ahead. Facing challenges. As the weeks went by, Zira and Ethan's friendship blossomed. They shared laughter and secrets, and Zira felt more confident every day. But not everything was easy. Life at school still had its challenges, especially when it came to fitting in with everyone. One afternoon, the school announced a group project. Each group had to create a presentation about their home planet. Zira was excited to work with Ethan, but she felt a wave of anxiety wash over her when she thought about other students joining them. When the teacher called out the groups, Zira's heart sank. She and Ethan were paired with a boy named Jake and a girl named Mia. While Jake was friendly, he sometimes made jokes that Zira didn't like. Mia was nice, but often followed Jake's lead. Zira worried about how they would react to her being an alien. As they gathered to discuss their project, Zira could feel Jake's eyes on her. "So, what do you know about your planet?" he asked, smirking slightly. "Do you have flying cars or something?" Ethan immediately jumped in. "Zira's planet is amazing. It has glowing flowers and cool animals. She can tell us all about it." Zira felt a spark of hope from Ethan's support, but Jake continued, "Really? I bet you don't even have pizza there." He laughed, and Mia joined in, giggling at his joke. Zira's heart sank again. The laughter made her feel small and unwanted. But Ethan wasn't going to let Jake's teasing continue. "That's not funny, Jake. Zira's planet is special, just like ours. You should be nice," he said firmly. Zira looked at Ethan, feeling grateful for his support. "I do have pizza on my planet," she said quietly, surprising herself. "It just glows and tastes different." Jake shrugged, uninterested. "Whatever. Let's just get this project done." As they began to work, Zira felt more anxious. Jake kept making little jokes about aliens, and it made her uncomfortable. But she focused on the project, determined to contribute. She shared pictures of her planet and talked about its unique features, hoping to impress the group. At the next meeting, things didn't improve. Jake continued to make snide comments, and Mia, instead of defending Zira, laughed along. "You know, I've never met an alien before. This is kinda cool," she said, but her tone felt mocking. Zira could feel tears forming in her eyes. She wanted to be proud of her heritage, but the laughter made her feel like an outsider again. She glanced at Ethan, who looked frustrated. "Hey, guys, enough already," Ethan said, standing up for her. "Zira is our teammate, and we should treat her with respect. Making fun of her isn't cool." Zira felt a rush of gratitude for Ethan. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice shaky but sincere. Jake rolled his eyes, but Ethan wasn't backing down. "If you keep this up, I'll tell the teacher," he said. His determination was strong, and Zira felt a new wave of courage wash over her. With Ethan's support, Zira decided to stand up for herself too. "I'm proud of where I come from. My planet may be different, but it has its own beauty and culture. I'd love to share it with you if you're willing to listen," she said firmly. Surprised silence filled the room. Jake looked taken aback, and Mia nodded slowly. "Okay, I didn't mean to be mean. I really want to learn more about your planet," she said, sounding sincere. Zira felt a wave of relief. The conversation shifted, and they began to discuss the project again. Slowly, Jake started to ask more questions, genuinely interested. As they worked together, Zira realized that facing challenges was part of building a friendship. With Ethan by her side, she felt strong enough to speak up and be proud of who she was. Together, they would navigate the ups and downs of school life, knowing that their bond made them unstoppable. Through this experience, Zyra learned that challenges could turn into opportunities for growth, and with friends who truly cared, anything was possible. A brave stand. As the school year progressed, Zyra and Ethan's friendship continued to grow. They spent almost every day together, laughing, exploring, and learning about each other's worlds. However, not everyone was as accepting. Some students still teased Zyra about being different, and it began to weigh heavily on her. One afternoon, during gym class, things took a turn for the worse. The teacher had organized a game of spaceball, which was a mix of soccer and basketball. The excitement in the gym was high as students divided into teams. Zyra was excited to play but felt a knot in her stomach as she noticed Jake and Mia were on the opposing team. As the game started, Zyra tried her best to keep up. She ran and kicked the ball with enthusiasm, enjoying the thrill of the game. But as she sprinted past Jake, she heard him shout, "Hey, alien girl, watch where you're going." The other students laughed, and Zyra felt her cheeks burn with embarrassment. She tried to brush it off and focus on the game, but Jake wasn't done. Every time she got close to the ball, he would say something hurtful. "You think you can play with us? This isn't some alien sport," he called out, laughing with his friends. Zyra felt tears prick her eyes. She wanted to be good at this game and fit in, but Jake's words stung. She glanced over to Ethan, who was on her team. He was watching her with concern. He could see how upset she was and decided it was time to step in. "Hey, Jake, that's not cool. Zyra is trying her best, just like everyone else," Ethan shouted, his voice echoing through the gym. Jake rolled his eyes. "Oh, come on, it's just a joke. Can't she take a little teasing?" he replied, still smirking. Zyra felt a mix of gratitude and fear. She loved that Ethan was defending her, but she also knew that standing up to Jake could make things worse. Still, she couldn't stay silent any longer. With a deep breath, she stepped forward, her heart pounding. "Jake, I'm here to play just like everyone else. I may be different, but I'm not going to let you bully me anymore," she said, her voice steady but filled with emotion. The gym fell silent. All eyes were on Zyra. She could feel her courage growing, and she realized that standing up for herself was the right thing to do. We all come from different places, and that makes us unique. It's not something to make fun of, she added, looking directly at Jake. Jake's expression shifted. He looked taken aback, as if her words had caught him off guard. The laughter that had filled the room faded, replaced by an air of seriousness. Ethan stepped closer to Zyra, giving her a supportive smile. "Zyra is right. We should celebrate our differences, not make fun of them. We can all learn something from each other," he said, looking around at their classmates. One by one, students began to nod in agreement. Mia, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. "I'm sorry, Zyra. I didn't realize it was hurtful. I think you're really brave," she said sincerely. Zyra felt a wave of relief wash over her. It was nice to hear support from her classmates. "Thank you, Mia," she said, feeling grateful. "I just want to play and have fun like everyone else." The gym teacher, who had been observing, clapped his hands to get everyone's attention. "I'm proud of you all for showing respect to one another. Let's focus on teamwork and kindness from now on," he said. With that, the game continued, but the atmosphere had changed. Jake didn't make any more jokes, and the other students treated Zyra with respect. She played with all her heart, and for the first time, she felt truly accepted. After the game, Ethan came over to Zyra, his face beaming with pride. "You were amazing, Zyra. I'm so proud of you for standing up for yourself," he said. Zyra smiled back, her heart full. "I couldn't have done it without you, Ethan. Thank you for always believing in me." In that moment, Zyra realized that with bravery and support, they could face any challenge together. Their friendship had not only made her stronger, but had also shown her that standing up for herself was the first step towards true acceptance, strength, and unity. The days that followed Zyra's brave stand were filled with a new energy at school. After the gym incident, many students began to look at Zyra differently. Some even approached her to apologize for their past behavior. It felt good to know that her voice had made a difference. Zyra felt like she was no longer just an outsider. She was becoming part of the community. One afternoon, the school organized a Unity Day event. The goal was to celebrate the diversity of all students and promote friendship among everyone. Zyra was excited but also a little nervous. She wanted to contribute to the event, and she thought of a way to do it that would showcase both her home planet and Earth. She rushed to find Ethan after school. "Ethan, we should do something for Unity Day." "I have an idea," she exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. Ethan raised an eyebrow, curious. "What do you have in mind?" "What if we set up a booth where we can share food and traditions from both our planets? We could show everyone how special each place is," Zyra suggested. "I love it. We can bring some of that glow fruit from my planet and make a dish from Earth," Ethan replied, his enthusiasm matching hers. They spent the next few days planning for Unity Day. They reached out to other students, asking if they wanted to join their booth. To Zyra's surprise, many wanted to help. Jake and Mia, who had previously teased her, even volunteered to bring some dishes and help with decorations. On the day of the event, the school gym was filled with colorful decorations, music, and the wonderful smell of different foods. Zyra and Ethan set up their booth with excitement. They displayed a large poster showcasing fun facts about both planets and set out plates of glowing fruit and Earth snacks. As people began to arrive, Zyra felt a flutter of nerves in her stomach. What if no one wanted to try their food? But as students approached, her worries melted away. "Wow, what is this?" one girl asked, pointing at the glow fruit. "It's from my home planet," Zyra said proudly. "It's sweet and refreshing. Would you like to try some?" The girl nodded, taking a piece and popping it into her mouth. Her eyes widened in surprise. "This is amazing. I love it." Word began to spread about the unique fruit, and soon, a line formed at their booth. As they served food, Zyra felt a warmth in her heart. This was what she had hoped for, everyone coming together to share and learn. Ethan was busy talking to a group of students about Earth's dishes. "This is a pizza roll. It's like a mini pizza you can eat in one bite," he explained, handing out samples. As the event continued, Zyra noticed Jake and Mia helping other students. They laughed and shared stories, creating a welcoming atmosphere. Zyra felt proud to see her classmates supporting each other. Then the principal took the stage to give a speech. "Today, we celebrate our differences and what makes us unique. Together, we are stronger," she said, and the crowd erupted in applause. Zyra felt a rush of joy. She realized that this event was more than just about food. It was about unity and understanding. Everyone was embracing their differences and learning from one another. At the end of the day, Ethan and Zyra stood together, watching as students enjoyed the various booths. "I can't believe how great this turned out," Zyra said, beaming. Ethan nodded, his eyes shining with happiness. "This shows that we can all come together, no matter where we're from. We are stronger as a team." Zyra smiled, feeling grateful for her friendship with Ethan. They had turned a challenging situation into a beautiful celebration of unity. That day, Zyra knew that she had found her place in this world. She felt empowered by the support of her friends and classmates, realizing that together, they could face any challenge that came their way. A bright future. Unity Day was a huge success, and the atmosphere at school felt different. The students were more accepting of one another, and Zyra felt more at home than ever. The experiences she had shared with Ethan, Jake, and Mia had changed everything for her. She was no longer just the alien girl. She was Zyra, a valued friend and classmate. As the weeks passed, the school continued to buzz with excitement. Zara and Ethan's booth had inspired other students to share their cultures as well. The cafeteria began to serve dishes from different planets, and students began to bring food from home to share with their friends. It felt like a celebration every day. One afternoon, while sitting in the park after school, Zara turned to Ethan. "Can you believe how much has changed since we first met?" she asked, a smile spreading across her face. "It feels like just yesterday I was scared to even talk to anyone." Ethan chuckled, nodding. "Yeah, it's amazing. You've really found your place here, Zara. I'm so proud of you." Zara felt warmth in her heart at his words. "Thank you, Ethan. I don't think I could have done it without your support. You made it easier for me to be brave." As they talked, Zara's mind began to wander to the future. What would it be like after graduation? Would she go back to her home planet or stay here? A part of her wanted to explore the universe, but another part loved Earth and the friends she had made. "Ethan, have you ever thought about what you want to do when we graduate?" she asked, curiosity in her voice. He leaned back, gazing at the sky. "I've been thinking about becoming an explorer. I want to travel to new planets and meet new species. It would be incredible to share stories and experiences." Zara's eyes lit up. "That sounds perfect for you. You would be great at that." "What about you?" Ethan asked, turning the question back to her. "What do you want to do?" Zara took a deep breath. "I want to help bring cultures together. I want to teach others about my planet and learn about theirs too. Maybe I can become a cultural ambassador," she said, excitement bubbling inside her. "That sounds amazing, Zara. You have the passion for it," Ethan replied, his eyes shining with admiration. Their conversation was interrupted by the sound of laughter. Jake and Mia were walking toward them, both carrying a large bag of snacks. "Hey, we brought some Earth treats for you too," Jake called out, grinning. Zara was surprised but pleased. "What did you bring?" Mia opened the bag to reveal homemade cookies. "I baked these with my mom. They're really good, I promise," she said, offering the bag to Zara and Ethan. "Wow, thank you," Zara said, taking a cookie and tasting it. "This is delicious." As they sat together, sharing snacks and stories, Zara felt a deep sense of belonging. It was wonderful to see how far everyone had come. The barriers that once separated them had started to crumble, replaced by friendship and understanding. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in beautiful colors, Zara looked at her friends and felt hopeful for the future. "I believe we can continue to grow together," she said, her voice steady. "With each other's support, we can overcome any challenge." Ethan nodded. "Absolutely. We are stronger together, and we can make a difference." Zara smiled, feeling a sense of purpose fill her heart. No matter where life took them, she knew they would face the future side by side. They would continue to explore new cultures, share their stories, and learn from each other. As they walked home that evening, Zara looked up at the stars twinkling above. Each star seemed like a door to a new adventure. She felt ready to embrace whatever came next. With her friends by her side, she was excited about the bright future ahead. Together, they could create a world where everyone felt valued and understood, no matter where they came from.